So I'm going to the source analyzer. ఈ ఆప్షన్స్ అన్ని మీకు అర్థమైంది కదండి. సోర్స్ అనలైజర్ అంటే ఏంటి, టార్గెట్ అనలైజర్ అంటే ఏంటి, మ్యాప్లెట్ అంటే ఏంటి, మ్యాపింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి. సోర్స్ అనలైజర్ అంటే మనం సోర్సెస్ ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి మనకి, ఫైల్ అనేది ఒక సోర్స్, టేబుల్ అనేది ఒక సోర్స్. ఓకే, మీరు సోర్సెస్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఇప్పుడు ఇది క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఇంపోర్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ డేటాబేస్ అని వస్తుంది. సో విల్ గెట్ మల్టిపుల్ ఆప్షన్స్. ఓకే, ఇంపోర్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ డేటాబేస్, import from file, import from COBOL file. This one I already discussed about you, okay, in the last sessions. So here what is the very first option, import from database. Database అంటే nothing but, database అంటే ఏంటండి చెప్పండి ఎవరన్నా.
Collection of storage of data.
Collection of tables and columns.
Collection of tables. Okay, table contains data. Okay, ఇది డేటాబేస్. ఓకే, డేటాబేస్ లో ఏమున్నాయి మనకి, ఇది ఆరకిల్ డేటాబేస్. ఆరకిల్ డేటాబేస్ లో ఇప్పుడు టేబుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సో కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ది టేబుల్స్ కాల్డ్ వి కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అన్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ది డేటాబేస్. Oracle అనొచ్చు, SQL server అనొచ్చు, MySQL అనొచ్చు. It is a database. It is containing a lot of tables. Okay, in each table we are having the data. It might be customer data, it might be some other insurance data, it might be some other banking transactions. Anything can be. Data can be anything. Okay, collection of tables called as a database, and we can have relation connections. That is we call the schema, and data where we are having, like in the table, inside the table we are having the data where data will be placed only in the tables. Okay, so that is the complete overview. So now I will go here and I will try to see. First of all, you want to import the table, means you have to go to the source analyzer, the sources, click on the sources, import from database. If it is a file, you have to import from file. Now I'm going for the import from database, means from Informatica I wanted to connect to the my database is nothing but Oracle database, and I will create a relation, means somehow I need to connect from Informatica to the database, right? Then only I can import the table. You are getting me, right? There should be some connection. So this connection I am building, we call the connection as ODBC. ODBC means ODBC. ODBC means Oracle
Open database connectivity.
Oracle database connection. Okay, Oracle database connection. So that thing we need to establish first. So for that I'm going here. Excuse me. I'm adding. So then to selecting one ODBC for Oracle. Okay, then I'm going to give the data source name. So my data source name will be See, I'm removing now this one. Okay. I went to the source analyzer. Okay. Please listen carefully. I will go to the import from database. Okay. So what is my database? That in my database there will be a lot of folders like in Informatica. Okay. So how many I'm having here? Infa is one schema, source is one schema, system is one schema. Means assume that this is one folder which is containing lot of tables. So I wanted to connect to the infa. Infa means this is one of the folder in the database. Okay. See, I have connected here already. I'm having lot of tables here. Okay. In these tables, I wanted to select any of the table. Okay. So for that is the reason I'm doing right click here. See properties. What I'm having here username and the host name. So these connections I need to give here to establish here. Okay. Then only I can connect to that particular folder. Then I can import how many tables I wanted to import from that particular folder. Getting me right? So there should be some connection to Informatica to the database. So that for that connection, I'm building the ODBC connections here. Means I'm connecting Informatica to the database and I'm importing the tables from the database to the Informatica level. Then only I can load the data from the source table to the target table. Okay. So for that, I'm creating the connections here. So I'm just went here. I made it as an add. So after adding, so I wanted to select my relevant Microsoft ODBC for Oracle. It is for Oracle only. Okay. And then finish. So here I want to give any data source name. It can be anything. I'm giving infa underscore dev. So it can be anything. Okay. Infa underscore dev. So description also I can give anything, but the username on the server should match with your current schema name. Okay. So what is my username? Suresh123. I'm giving here the same. So these connections you will come to know from which table, from which schema you wanted to import your table. You just go to that and do right click. You will come to know what is the server name and what is the host name. The same credentials you have to give here. Okay. So for that, I have selected the server in the host is localhost and I'm giving OK. So see here the connection is established. Info underscore dev. Got it? Then I'm going for OK. The next I'm selecting in the drop down. See, you're getting our new connection. What is that? Info underscore dev. I'm selecting that. I'm giving the same username and the owner name, both are same. And password also you need to give. The same password we have given, Suresh123. Then I'm now connecting there. See, now I connect it to the particular schema. Now I can see our tables. All the tables, whatever is there here in the database, all the tables I can view here. Why I am able to see here now? Tell me. Because I have connected to the database to the Informatica. I have given the all the username, password, connection string, host name, everything. Okay. Now I am able to access the tables in the schema through Informatica. Okay. So for suppose department underscore sales, there is one table here. I selected this one and I've done okay. See, the table came here. What is saying here? Oracle means info underscore dev and the table name is department underscore sales. Owner name is this one and the database type is Oracle. So all the information regarding this table you can see here when we are imported from the database table. Okay. So that is the reason. So somehow you need to connect to the database and import your relevant table to the Informatica level. Then only you can transfer the data from one table to file or one table to another table, source to target. Okay. So that is the purpose we are establishing the connection. Okay. Please tell me if you have any doubts because this is very mandatory thing. So you will connect it to the databases, you will connect it to the file system, you will import the tables, files. Okay. And in target also you will import the tables and files. Then you will load you will load the data from sources to the target databases. So this is the very first point in the mapping area for developers or for enhancement, anything, any role. This is very mandatory thing. The first job you will do, you will always import some tables and you are always import some files. If without knowing this, you cannot move forward. Okay, first you need to establish the connections. Next, you need to know what is the table you need to import, and then you need to know how we have to import it. All these things you have to do manually. Any doubts here, please ask me, or else I will go for the target table.
So that means like we are calling the data to the Informatica through this method, right?
Yeah, first of all, we are connecting to the table. Okay, we are not calling the data directly. We are connecting to the table. Then when you run the mapping or the session, okay, the data will transfer from the integration service to source to target. So you are pulling. So before pulling, first you need to establish the connection. Source and target, you need to establish the connection. So after establishing, the data will transfer. If you see here, we are having only three attributes. So three columns here: table, columns, and metadata. In metadata, we are doing nothing here. Columns means how many columns is there in the table. These three columns: department ID, salary, and department name. But inside the department ID, how many columns are there, how many data are there, you don't know, because you will not able to see here. Only in the database you can see. The data will transfer when you run the workflow. Here just you are establishing the connections. That's it. Okay, once you do up to here, you need to do control S. Means you wanted to save it, then only your changes will be reflected. Without saving, your changes will not reflected. If you are adding one comma, removing one comma, okay, if you are importing one table, if you are importing one file, anything you are doing in the work area, we call this is an work area, workspace. So anything you have to do control S. If without doing control S means save. Without saving it, it will not save, it will not reflect. Okay, suppose you have done some changes, suddenly connection has been lost, you didn't save it. Okay, then again you have to rebuild the connection, you have to do your changes again. Whatever you do, immediately your hand should go for the control S. Means immediately it will save. Else you need to import the table again, you need to change your modifications again. Okay, all these things you have need to do. See, if you come here to the sources, say before we don't have the info dev folder. Now you can see info dev. What is the table name? Department underscore sales. So if we are adding one more table, okay, now I have saved the changes. So now I am doing clear all. Means it will remove from here. I will go to the sources again. Okay, I will import from database again. Okay, I'm going to connect. I'm just importing some other table. Department sales underscore LOC. Please try to understand. Okay, see, one more table came here. How many tables you want to import? First one time only the connection you have to establish. Okay, and the second time, how many tables you want to import from the same folder? Remember, okay, info is one schema. In that schema, suppose there are 100 tables. First time you will establish the connection. After establishing the connection for first time, from the second time you can just go and select in the drop down. That's it. Go to the database. In the drop down, you will select info underscore dev. You will give all the username password. You will go connect there, and you can see number of tables, whatever the tables are already present. You can select how many tables you want to import. All these tables you can import at a time, like this. I'm just saving it. So both three tables I have imported like this. Okay. Now I'm going for the target. In the target, also the same, but in the target I'm going to create one more connection, because I will see in the target what are the tables present. So product name, product ID, and the product number. You guys got the information, right? Any doubts? Please ask me. Because connections are very important here. Source we are imported. Now I am importing the target. Okay, target tables. Then I will load the data from source to target. That's it. You also try to practice once you install in Informatica in your laptop. Okay, you can try. Then you will get the real how you are extracting the data from the source to the targets. You'll know how to do it. If you have any doubts, please ask me.
So in this infographics dev, right, the down three tables were called, you have cleared the here. So we can open here or we have to delete here.
No, I'm not deleting here. See, I'm just doing the right click and I'm clearing all. Means this is the work area. I'm not deleting it. I'm just clearing all, clearing the space. That's it. Okay. So I'm going here again into the info dev and just right click on the table, open. Again, our table is getting open. I'm not going to delete it. If you want to really delete, you'll go here to the edit, delete. Okay. Do you have any doubts on this? Okay, then I'm moving to the target analyzer. Means I'm importing the target. See, if you see here, I'm I'm clicking on the very first tab. Source analyzer is there. On the top, what I'm seeing? Sources. Okay, I'm going here to the in the target designer. What I'm going to see here? Targets. Means which tab you are clicking. There is some related options will become for that particular tab. If I'm clicking on the source related options will come. If I'm clicking on the target related options will come. Okay, that also you need to yeah, you need to make a note on this. Okay, I'm going to the targets. Same database file XML TIPCO everything. So what is my requirement here? Table to table. I'm going to the Informatica database and I don't have, no, I wanted to create one target folder again. Okay, add. So here my folder will be changing because target is my target folder is my target database. Okay, so I'm just right clicking properties. So username and the server is nothing but host name. So host name, I'm giving the target. Okay, Okay, now I'm able to see the target folder. Okay, target DB connection. We call this a target DB connection. Okay, so I'm selecting the drop down here. I'm selecting my target DB connection, and what is my so it is user and password both are same. Tables. So what is the relevant one means I will select the product. So the table someone has already imported. Okay, so I'm doing replace. Okay, replace means existing one will be deleted and the new one will be coming. Whatever the table I'm taking, it will replace. Replace means someone has already created this one, imported this table. So that is the reason I'm just replacing. So now what I'm doing, I'm just comparing with the existing one, the new one. So what is this? Is there any difference between the column or any data type? So all these things we can check actually. Okay, so nothing much difference. So I'm just closing it. I'm doing replace. Okay, so there is one option here. Actually, we can select the our database. Okay, if you wanted to add some attributes or remove some attributes. See, I'm just creating a table in the Informatica and the table will be created in the database as well. So I'm just created one table name department underscore target. I want the same columns which are there in the source table name. So I'm selecting here how many we are having in the department sales. 1, 2, 3. The same three columns has to be there in the target table. That's what I'm creating a table, just the columns, not the data. Okay. So we need to generate and execute this one. Okay. I'm selected this table, means this table is not present in the target folder in the database. So I'm created with three columns, one table in the Informatica level. The same thing, I'm just clicking on generate and execute. See, it is running. Okay, running ODBC SQL script means we are creating a table through Informatica, and the table will create in database, means in the Oracle. Still it is running. See, 3 columns has been created. You got it right? Hello. Okay, I am now imported the source table and the target table. Now I am creating a simple mapping. Okay, some source table to the target table. Okay, only 5 minutes left. I will hurry up how much I can tell you. You guys are not asking any questions. Okay, I don't know you are getting me or not. Is I'm running fast or you are getting my conversation? You are understanding me? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. See, mapping starts with small m, that is the standard. Okay, then we'll take our department DEPT, means we are loading department to target. So department to target. So this will be a standard. Only it will go with the small m always will go with the small mapping. So I have imported the sources. I'm going to the target. I'm importing the target as well. Means drag and dropping. Okay. So selecting all, right click, select all, just drag and drop. Save. See, it is saved. Okay. It will come here in the between, in the bottom. If you see mapping m underscore dept target is valid. If it is valid, then your mapping is good. If your it is not valid, then there is some error. Okay, that you need to know. So here m underscore department target. So I'm arranging all. I've saved it. After saving, you have to validate it all the time. You go to the mappings, come down here. After delete, there is a validate. You have to validate it. So mapping is valid. Then immediately I'm going to the workflow level. So now I imported the source table, I imported the target table, I've created the mapping. Now I'm going to the workflow level. In the workflow level, I will create a session workflow and I will connect to this mapping. All are interlinked, okay? So now I already connected to the Informatica workflow area. In the workflow area, I went to my folder and I went to the workflows, create workflow. Okay, please Try to understand this workflow underscore workflow contains session. S means again session. M means mapping, and this is the hierarchy. Workflow contains WF means workflow. When the inside the workflow, what you will have session. Inside the session, what you will have mapping. Okay, so that is the hierarchy. That is the reason I am giving as a standards underscore DEPT underscore target means inside the mapping we are having source table and the target table. So that is the main reason. See, start is happened here. So start means it's a starting point of the workflow. Inside this start, nothing will be there. It will just trigger the workflow. That is the reason we're having the start button. That's it. So now I enter the session. See, after the arrow mark, there is one option that is called a session. Okay. I have drag and dropped the session into the workflow level work area. Then I need to select any one of the mapping to run the session. Okay, so there are how many sessions? Lot of sessions. But what is my particular mapping is there? M underscore department target is my mapping. Okay, only that particular mapping you need to select and you need to click on OK. So after that, just you need to give the link. See, the link will be there. Means from start button to the session. Then only your session will be getting executed. Without link condition, nothing will be valid and nothing will be executed. So this is the mandatory things we have to do. Now it is valid. See, workflow session mapping is valid. Always you need to click on the first button, enable this one. Fail parent if the task fails. I will tell you what is the reason why you are clicking enable. Okay. I'll go to the properties level, mapping, source we are having one table, target we are having one more table. Okay. So here info I am selecting because my Oracle is info, right? You need to select your particular folder. Info is that one. Oracle TGT means target. Always it has to be in the normal mode.